UI of your 3ds Max. And 3ds Max software is Autodesk software, and this comes under media and entertainment of Autodesk. And this is a professional 3D computer graphics program for making 3D animation and any kind of models. And when I talk about any kind of model, so initially this software was used for game and motion graphics for this kind of purpose. Now we are creating models for our AEC purpose also, but this has much advanced tools for creating any animation characters, your movie characters, and your gaming characters. So this has some keep flexible plugins also for architecture, so that helps us to create some architectural models like stairs, doors, and walls. So these plugins are available in 3ds Max. Okay, so this is like a very vast software. It has so many tools and so many things to learn in this software. This is really vast, like ocean. And using these softwares, there are so many movies has been made, like GI Joe, Rise of Cobra, Spider-Man 3, and our Chota Bhim Kung Fu. So there are lots of movies are there. And as I already mentioned, this is usually used for video game developers, for TV commercial, movie effects, pre-visualization, this purpose. Okay, so sorry. Formerly, it was named 3D Studio, and now it is named 3D Studio Max. So this was initially created for your DOS platform, okay, and later on it was like rewritten for Windows version, and then it renamed as 3D Studio Max when it is published for Windows version. And it has some like uh, poly modeling function, which helps you to create like this kind of model like cars or anything. So you have some basic geometric shapes, and from that you can convert it into poly, or each and every object in 3D software, 3D modeling software has its own component like vertex and edge, surface. So those components, or those part of model, don't has their own features. But when you convert it into poly model, or uh, you convert it into convertible poly, that is the feature in 3ds Max. So you give power to all the individual polygons, means all the individual parts like vertex. So with the help of this thing, you can modify a single shape into like this car or anything, so that will be a single element. And that is the biggest advantage using 3ds Max. And this has this software has some advanced material options. You can apply some advanced material into your model, so that you can make it better realistic, and for better visualization you can uh, apply it on your 3D model. So let's go for it. And here is the GUI of your 3ds Max. So you can see that this GUI very less similar to other Autodesk softwares, but it has some common features which has in other Autodesk softwares. So let's first talk about this one. Here you can see that is the sign in, and that is the user account menu. From this option, you can log into your Autodesk account, and we have some workspace. So you guys are already aware of workspace. I have already demonstrated in AutoCAD, and that is the similar meaning here also. And here you can select other workspaces. Other default workspaces are there. So this is the default workspace for all the work purpose. Okay. Next, let's talk about this three. That is the menu bar. This is the menu bar. And four, four is your main toolbar. Okay. Here we will be talking about this as a toolbar, and this three as menu bar. And five, this is your ribbon. This part is your ribbon. Okay. Be sure what is called ribbon and what is called toolbar and what is called menu bar. Then we have this scene explorer. Okay. This scene explorer is like controlling your scene, how you can freeze it, you can make it visible or not. So that thing you can control from this scene explorer. Okay. What are the what are the things will be included in your scene? So from this scene explorer, you can control it not only for your model, for other cameras and lights and other things which is present in your scene, you can control by this scene explorer. Next, this is this is 7, that is viewport layout. With this tool, you can control this viewport layout. So in the AutoCAD, this viewport layout we have, we can make it single viewport, we can make it four equal, like that. Here we have this option separately, that is viewport layout. And another is 8. This is your command panel. Okay, so whatever we will be doing, we'll be doing it through command panel. So either you want to create any model or you want to modify. So all the options available here. Okay. Next is your viewport. So this is your viewport. This area is called viewport, where you can see four different viewports, and within that we have four different views. Now let's talk about this 10. This is the 10th number, that is Max Script Mini Listener. So here you can also run some script if you have, and that is for the game developers, animators. So they use this Max Script Mini Listener. And next is 11, that is status line, or you can say prompt line. So whatever you are currently doing here, it will be visible. So right now you can see that none selected. So it's asking you to click and drag to select and move objects, as because you are currently hovering your mouse on this car, you can see. So that's why it is highlighted in yellow. Okay. Next is 12, that is this, that is your isolate selection and your selection selection lock. Okay, so this is your isolate selection and this is your selection lock. So with this option, you can lock your selection so that won't be move or rotated or anything not be changed. And if you go for isolate selection, so that means which is right now selecting, uh, except that other objects will be selected. So with this option, you are if you are selecting this car, so this car will not be selected. The other objects which are unselected will be selected. Next is 13, that is the coordinate display option. This area is your coordinate display. So it will show your mouse cross your current location here, or when you are moving your object, you can see the coordinate values. And you can also control the movement from here as well with the help of X, Y, and Z coordinates. Now let's talk about this animation and time control. This part here till this, we have this animation and time control. Okay. So when we will be creating some animation, we will use these tools for play, pause, and time configurations are there. We can control this track. Here you can see this is the track. Okay. Like time track, you can say. This is the time track. Okay. And here we have some navigation tools. These are called viewport navigation control tools. With the help of these tools, we can navigate, and that can be used by your mouse also, like zoom, pan, and we have some extra option we will discover in our software itself. All right. So anything else? Yes. So here we have this 16th, that is your project toolbars. So we need to define a project path, and we need to define it as a project. So it will create other folders, like whenever you are creating any 3ds max scene, a model, so you are not only creating a 3D model, you are applying some images, some lights are there, and some other folders like auto backup folder it will be created. So you have to define uh, as the project, and project folder should be created. So that option is available in 3ds max, so let's go for it. So this is all about your 3ds max GUI. Have anything to ask about this GUI, please ask me. I'm going to shift into 3ds max software itself. Can you see this 3ds max software?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So here you can see this is the GUI, and right now I don't have any model in this screen right now. So these are your four viewports you can see, right? We have top view. So this is your view control. Here you can control. So if you have any camera views, so that you can set it from here. So you can change, and these are the shortcuts. Okay. So I will upload the shortcut list for all your tools. Okay. So I'll upload that uh, in the Microsoft team. Okay. In the Microsoft team, I will upload it. Let me show you that. Here, let me create one folder for resources. Let me go for upload. Okay, so I will upload it. Let's not upload now. There I will upload it. Okay. All right. So let's go for it. And here you can see these are your menu bar. This is toolbar. And right now this one is hidden. This was ribbon. This was hidden, and you can control this. So you can minimize it. Okay. And here you can see some default is there, and what is the like this is the file. Okay, so project file, you have to define the project file, and this is the workspace. Okay, right now the default workspace is selected, and we have some other workspace. So as per the workspace, you will see some different layouts, right? Okay, so what is your requirement? As per that, you can choose it. Okay, whatever is your requirement, as per that, you will choose it. So the default option is okay. You don't have any problem with the default option. And this is your command panel here. You can see, you can stretch it like this. Okay, and here we have this track. Okay, or this is your time slider. Okay, and the track is set to 100 frame, and we have time configuration option here, and here we can change the time frame, what will be the start time and end time, and everything we can control it. So when we will create any animation, we will control it from here. We'll add some keys, and then it will be recorded. And here we have some viewport navigation control tools. So this is the option for zoom. So you can zoom it with these options. Here we have zoom all. So here you see that all the viewports are being affected with this single command. And right now I have this viewport is active right now. If I'm applying this zoom all, it will be applicable for all the viewports. So that is the meaning of zoom all. So that will be applicable for all the viewports, so that you can have the same zoom, same camera view. So we have a default camera, right? And through that camera we are seeing our uh, model, and you can set the same view scale for all the top, front, left, and perspective with that zoom all option. And here we have zoom extend selected. So this viewport is selected right now, and you know what is called zoom extent, and all the objects within this viewport will be till this extent viewport. So, and we have this zoom extents all selected. So all the viewports will be zoomed within this screen, okay, within the viewport area. And we have this field of view. So the field of view, you can control it. So that is your for the default camera. Okay. And here we have pan view, so that you can do it with your mouse middle button also. And we have this orbit also. Okay. So this one is like free orbit. This one is a free orbit. And if you go with this here, if you want to orbit around any object, so for that you have to hold alt button and then hold your shift. Okay, you have to hold alt here, not shift like AutoCAD or Revit. You have to hold alt, and then use your mouse middle button, and holding these two together, move your mouse, and then you can orbit it. All right. And here also you have this. Here also you have this orbit option available. You can click on this. Here you can go for this maximize viewport toggle, so that this viewport will be maximized. And the shortcut for that, we have Alt W. Okay, so you can either press Alt W. Right now I'm pressing Alt W. So you can control maximizing and minimizing your viewport, and you can control it from this icon here, from this tool here. Okay, all right. So this is setting your viewport. First, you will check that all your viewports are configured right or wrong. Okay, so if it is need to zoom extend all, so that you can do it, or anything to change in the view, so you can change the view. So you can just select it and press the shortcuts. Like here you need to change to left view, so press L and it is changed to left view. You can bring back your top view with T, and here also you have the shortcut for this. So you see that uh, no shortcuts available for bottom, right, and back. So these shortcuts can be accessed like V. So V for your view. So here you open the view, and then after that, if you press R, so your right view will be uh, activated, and if you press B, that will be activated. And for other also the same shortcuts like top, left, L for left. Okay, so if you want to switch right view, so for that VR is the shortcut. Here you can see it is right now the right side view, and you can change it from here also, and you can make it perspective, so that that will be the 3D view. Here you can see this is the perspective and the shortcut is P. Okay, and you can make it orthographic, so like you can see all the 3D views there, but it will be like parallel. Okay, uh, if you go for this orthographic, so you will see that view is parallel to your screen, right? The projection is parallel to the viewer. So that is your orthographic. And let's go for perspective there, and let's change to camera view. So C is the shortcut for camera view. If any other cameras set, so here you will find out some other cameras and lights also. If other lights are there, so you can change to the lights. So let's set front view only here. Okay. And after that, here you will find out some options in this file to create a new and new from template. You can find out new from template. You can see these are some templates available. Okay, all right. And you can create a new scene selecting this, any of it. Okay, so this is the default one. You can choose this one and then you can click on create new scene, and with this template it will be created. So here we have some options like import. We can import some Revit file, AutoCAD file, and other files that is saved as FBX. So like if you want to import SketchUp
Sir,
file,
excuse me, sir.
yes, yes.
I could not see your screen, sir.
What about others? Can you see the movement? Can you see this?
Yes,
Um,
sir.
right now I'm accessing this file tab. It is visible.
Yes, sir, it is visible. The Max screen is visible.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right, so here you can see that import and link FBX is there. So if you want to import like other SketchUp and other Rhino software models here. So for that you need to convert those models into FBX, and then here you can go for this link FBX. And we have export also. We can export it into other file format, so that we can do it. And we have this project also, so that I will discuss later. So we need to create some empty project first, as because this is going to be the new and one project structure will be created, and that will be the project path for our
Sir,
3ds max software. Yes.
the tabs are not visible, sir. It's just your mouse and the screen.
Okay. Okay, just a second. uh is this visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me discuss it again, that within this file tab we have this new option to create a new scene. So you can go for new all, and with the default template it will be created, and you can choose your template, and then the new scene will be created. So go for this new from template, and here you can see some default templates from Autodesk are given. You can choose this as per your purpose, and then you can, after selecting it, you can click on this create new scene, and a scene like this will be created. We have this open, so if you have any existing files, so you can open it and save as. So these options are already available, and here you have this import option, so you can import some other software's file like Revit files, AutoCAD files. You can upload it like external reference. You have this link Revit, and we have this link FBX. So if you have like SketchUp model or Rhino model or any other software models you have, so for that you need to convert them as FBX, and then they will be imported in your 3ds max, and you can export it in other file format else also. So here also you can export it as FBX. So here you can see FBX format is there. So then you can import in Revit as well. So if you uh, export it as FBX file format, so that can be uh, imported in any other 3D modeling software. Okay. So we have also this project option available. So here we will be creating one empty project. So that I will show you later, and it will create one project structure folders, and that will be the path for saving you all your scenes. Okay, and within all the particular folders and the right path, everything will be selected, so you don't have to define it. Okay. Uh, Now let's go for this customize option. Okay, if you need to customize your user interface, so you have this customize option available here. So let's go for this customize user interface. And there you can see we have this keyboards, mouse, toolbars, and quads menus. Quad menu is when you right click anywhere in your viewport, you will see some extra menus. Those are called quad menus. And what are the quad menus will be visible. So these are available here. And if you want to like change anything, so you can go for it. Now let me show you that we have this some UI option here. Here you can see command panel is there. So if you uncheck this command panel, so it will be not present within your UI. So here you have this show UI and command panel. So from here you can go for it, and you have your command panel there. Okay, so you have this UI option. And now let me go for this preference. What do you prefer right now? So as per that, all these things you will have. Okay, now let me go to this file option, and here you can see that we have these options are checked. These backup on save, compress on save file properties, these things are there. And this auto backup file name is auto backup, and this is the folder. Okay, And now let me tell you about what is the meaning of this convert local file paths to relative. Okay, so whenever we will be creating any materials, we will be applying some external images, right? Or some external files if we are importing within our scene or within this 3ds max. So those files are present within my system in a particular folder, in a particular path, right? But when I will be sending my 3ds max file to other person or to the project manager or to any project team member, so he will receive those files which are linked also, but that will not be the in the same path, right? So if you check this, so wherever those files are present right now, it will take that path. Okay, so that's why you need to check. You need to check it. Okay, so it will update the location, and now we have this backup on save. All right, and increment on save. So you can check this also if you need to have each difference when you save it. So you need to see like what was the initial stage of your model, so that you were saving, and at the last what you have. So each files you will have when you save it, it will like uh, the initial file will be saved as a different file, and then later you save it, it will saved as the in as another different file with the increment number, like it will add 0.01, then 0.02 with the same name. So that you can do it and compress on save, so you can check on that, so you have the less space for your file. All right, so these things you can, and you have this viewports. All right, so these things are available about this gizmos. So everything is okay right now, and these things you can do it within this preference settings. All right, now we have another option, that is the unit setup. Okay, so we will be setting our unit. So here you see that the display unit have two option, uh, that is metric and US standard. If you want to work with millimeter, centimeter, then go for metric. And if you want to work with inches, feet, so that you can do it. And you can set your custom unit. Suppose like one unit is your one unit will be is equal to this full length is equal to like 1 millimeter, so that you can define your own length, you can your own unit you can create it. Okay, so that is the custom one. And we have this generic units, so this generic unit is equal to the system unit. So we have this system unit, you can see that is 1 unit is equal to 1 inches. That is the default condition. So if you go for this generic unit, so the default unit will be your system unit, and that is equal to 1 inches. So if you change it to 1 millimeter, so that will be 1 millimeter. So your one unit is equal to 1 millimeter right now. So that you can change. All right. So here you can also see like distance from origin is 2.25.4 mm. Why it is showing in mm? Because you see, sorry. Okay, so here you can see that it is in the So here you can see this is the unit conversion, your inches into millimeter. Okay, so everything is in millimeter right now, you can see. Okay, so everything is here, it's showing you in the millimeter. Okay, so that is the like what I can say, the reference unit to show you the difference and what is your unit scale right now. So that is your system unit scale. So let's choose metric. Okay, so that is the unit conversion. If you are choosing this unit is equal to 1 inches, so your unit will be this generic unit will be this one. So right now we are using metric. And that is set here, you can see. And we have some other options, like you can choose this tool to include your scene explorer here. This is the scene explorer, and other tools you can include here. Okay, so we have some tools available like mirror, and these tools also available here also. Okay, some tools are available, so if you need any tools from that, you can access it. And some view options also we have here about the view cube, and some other options are available here. So we'll later discover about it when we require it. And these things are not needed. These things are mainly needed when you will create some poly modeling, or you will be converting this into other convertible model. So that can be applied. These modifiers are available. So this modifier will help you to convert your model, and it will give more flexibility for conversion. Okay, and for animation we have this much of tools, so we will just only cover some basic animation part. Okay, for walkthrough only. And we have some option for rendering, so that can be accessed by this option. And we have this render setup and render and other render to texture, so these options are available. And we have this civil view, so you can initialize civil view for this is generally for infrastructure, uh, for road projects, for infrastructure projects. So you can initialize your civil view. So if it is needed, and you can choose these units, these things, you can go for it. Okay. All right. So this is right now initialized as per the civil view. Okay. Let me show you this workspaces, about this workspaces. So here we have this workspace. Okay, all this workspace are available here. You can like after changing it here, like adding some other tools or changing the layout here, you can save it as a new workspace and give it a new name and save it. Okay, so that you can do it, can manage your workspace. from here. So let me change it to default back. You can log into your Autodesk account so that you can access it. Let me just check it. So this one here, you can find out some shortcut for your uh, all the tools. Here, all the lists are available. So you can check it out here also, and you can assign some hotkeys here. You can assign your shortcut keys from here. Okay, so this is the hotkey editor. If you want to change the shortcut, you can do it here. If you want to assign some uh, shortcuts, you can assign some shortcuts here as well. So you can see some shortcuts are available here. This is for camera view. Okay, so you can see this is the one. You have to remove it and you have to assign the new one. All right, so that you can do it with the help of this customize, and there you have this hotkey editor. Okay, and let me choose this initial setting for your UI layout. And here you can see that this UI is set to default UI and initial setting for all the tool options. So for all the tools, you can choose these things, and you will see that we have some settings. So these are the set you can see, uh, understand, like these are the sets for all the tool options and settings. So if you choose this one, so as per that, these are the settings for rendering, layers, material editor, and this. So you can go for design if you are using like any what I say, any studio scene, if you are going for any studio scene. So these things are available. Okay, and here you will find out some different settings also. So as per the like settings, we have this set. Okay, and you can change the UI, like what will be the interface colors. Okay, so that is your default UI, and let me choose this set, and as per that we have this so this is the uh, default one. Okay, and as per the default, it can be accessed for all the purpose. So we can go with the default max and default UI, and you can click on set. As because I am not changing anything, so I can go with the cancel. So here you will find out this custom defaults switcher. Okay, so after setting all this, you can start working on your uh, modeling thing. You can start create your model. So here we have this command panel. Okay, and this is the create tab. So anything you want to create, you have to switch to this create tab. Here you have this geometry. So if you are creating any geometric shape, geometric model, so you have to come to this tab here, and then you will find out some primitives. Standard primitives are there, extended primitives are there, compound objects. So these things are available for your geometric. So windows, doors, uh, this grids, body objects. So these things are available here. So we have some standard primitives, extended primitives. So standard primitives is like simple geometric shapes like box, cylinder, and extended primitives, some complex geometric shapes are there. So you can choose to create as per your requirement, and you can like modify them, and you can convert them into other objects. So a simple box with the 3 or 4 simple box, you can make a sofa, right? or you can use some cylinder. So as per your requirement, you can choose what will be the shape, and you can combine all the other shapes together and make a component. So that we can go with standard primitives. So this is about geometry. We have this option for shape, for creating 2D shape. We have lights, camera, and some helpers if you need any helpers. So here you have some uh, tape for measuring purpose. We have some space option for creating force. So these things for creating any particles. And here we have some other options like creating daylight, sunlight. These are available here. So let's now focus on this standard primitives and extended primitives only. These things you already, I think you already have explored in AutoCAD. In AutoCAD 3D, you already have explored this box, cone, sphere, geosphere, cylinder, tube, torus, pyramid. These things you already have explored. But here, what you have to explore it, you also have to explore these things in 3ds Max, so that you will have the better idea about all these geometric shapes. Because you will not likely to find found all the components whatever is required for uh, your project. Suppose you need a sofa, and that is required by you as per the project requirement. So that you cannot find within this 3ds Max, you have to create it, right? So for that you will find out these primitives only, and with the help of these primitives you have to modify and you have to create it. So the better you understand about the primitives, the better you modify and the better you control, so exact you create as per your project requirements, right? So are you getting my point? You have to explore these primitives very well, modifying all the parameters and changing all the parameters. You have to observe what shape you are getting after changing all the parameters and all. So you have to explore all these primitives, and you have to explore this extended primitives. All right, so let me show you about this box. So you see that I'm creating this box. First, I'm defining the corner, first corner, and then I'm defining another corner, and that is reflected in all the four viewports. So after giving the opposite corner point, I'm giving the height. So initially you will be uh, doing it through the mouse. Here also you can do it. So after completing the initial model, so this is completed. And when your task is completed, you don't want to create any more. So what you can do, you can right click to exit from the creation mode, and then it is selected, and then you can go for this modify. So this is the modify option. Here you can modify some parameters. Here you can apply some modifiers also. You have this modified list. So later we will apply some modifiers. Let's change some parameters. Okay, so with the help of this parameters, you can see that you are applying the changes, and this is the width, this is the height. Okay, and now let me change the visual style here. So we have this default shading. So when you select this default shadings as per the object color, you will see it. So here you have this control for object color, this option, and the naming is there. So you can change the naming. Like let me give it a name A, and if you click here, you can change the color. Okay. Uh, Now let me change it to this. aged faces, and here you can see ages are highlighted. Okay, you can change the length segment, you can add some length segment. So when you will converting this, I'm holding alt and mouse middle button to orbit around this object, and alt W to maximize this viewport. Now scrolling back to zoom out. Okay. So I have increased the length segment to 8, and width segment I can increase to 4, and about the height segment I can give height segment 2. So you can see that your object is completed by these segments. Your length is completed by 8 segment, width is completed by 4 segment, and your height is completed by 2 segments. This is one segment, another segment, total is 2. So you can increase it. 3 segment is there. So as per that, you have this. Okay. So when you will convert it into convertible poly, so right click and you have this convert to option and convert to editable poly and editable mesh. So as per this service surface dividation, you will have your polygons. All the components will be will have individual power, like vertex, this surface, these edges will have individual power. So this is the simple box. Okay, you can make a cube also. So it will keep the pre settings. Okay, so you can later change this. All right, you can later change this. So you see within this like uh, geometry, within this geometry, after creating it, you can edit it as well. But this option will be available for editing only once. So when you create another object, suppose this object is created, now you want to select it, so you have to exit from the creation mode. So right click and it is exited. And now if you select it, here you will not find out the editing. So when you are creating it, when you are creating this, and after completing it, it's still in the creation mode. So that's why you are getting these parameters available within this geometry. Okay, within this create, you are getting it. But when you complete, so if you create another object or you exit from the creation mode, so that means you have completed creating this object. So after that, your modify option will come. So for that, you have to come to this modify tab. Okay, and here you have this cone option. So center, then radius, then height, then the top radius. Okay, so if your top radius is 0, you will have a cone. If you have any value for top radius, then you have frustum cone. Okay, and you can add some segments also, can remove some segments. And here you can see that we have this sides. How many sides are there? So we have 24 sides, and how many sides you have, as per that you will have a better curve, better curvature you will have. So for better curve, minimum you must define sides 32. Okay, minimum 32 you should give, so that you have better curve. Okay, and the better you will give, like let me give 64 sides, so better curve you have, less sharpness you will have. Okay, and here also let me change it to like four sides, so that you will get this kind of object, get this kind of object, right? So let me decrease the height here, and let me change the bottom radius there, and let me decrease the height a bit here. Okay, so here you can see like this kind of shape you can easily create by the cone. So you have to understand that this can be done only using the cone, right? So if you don't explore by changing all these parameters, you couldn't understand whether the shape can be extracted from these normal primitives. Okay, and we have this slice also, so you can give it a slice, and when you have the slice on, you have to give slice from and slice to. Right now these two are similar, slice from is 0 and slice to is 0, so we are not getting any result. So let's like slice to 180, and there you can see half slice you have. So let me show you like this. You have this slice. Okay, so we can create this. All right. So we have some other objects like sphere, geosphere, cylinder, tube. These things are there. So these are very simple. Let me show you about sphere and geosphere. So let me create a sphere, and here you can see the creation methods are there. So age, center, so it will be based on the center. If you choose age, so it will be based on the age. So one age and then another age, and the distance will define the diameter, and then your sphere is created. Okay, so this is the sphere, and here you see this is the radius, and you see the minimum segment is 32 for this one. You can give it like 4 if you give 4, and there you can see, so 4 sides are there, 4 segments are there. Give 5, 6, and so on, and you will have this kind of objects. Okay. Okay, so you understand that your segments, control the segments, you can control the object. Okay. Now this thing is smooth. If you don't click on this smooth, so you will see more sharpness. Okay. So if you need objects like this, you can uncheck the smooth option. So you get the better sharpness there. The edges are prominent. And now let's create hemisphere. So for hemisphere, we have this option available. So we have two ways to get our hemisphere, like chop and squash. So like chop is like cutting, chopping like that. So from the bottom, you will see. So these are the percentage, and this much you are chopping it. Okay, and if you give 1, so it will be vanished, and here you can see like 50%, 60% is chopped, and you're getting this kind of hemisphere right now. So here you can see that from a sphere we are getting this object, right? And if you increase this, you will get this. And if you decrease, you get this one. Okay, so you have to explore all these primitives. So like that, we have this extended primitives. You have this chamfer box. This same, you can create a box, and then you can define the filter edges. Okay, you can sorry, not filter, fillet. Okay, so on the edges you can apply fillet. So this way, moving your mouse, you can apply it in the initial position, and later you can change the fillet. Okay, and if you increase your fillet segments, so you'll have a smooth fillet. Okay, so for this fillet, minimum you have to apply 6. If you want to get a proper curve, you need to define 6, and another multiplying 2 with 6, you will have more better curve. 12 if you apply 12. Okay, so you can apply minimum 12 for prominent fillet. Okay, so that is your chamfer box. We can go with this hedra. So this kind of shapes are available here. All right, and this has some different properties. Okay, this has some different properties. So this is like the family is tetra. So if I change the visual style, so if I go for F3, that is wireframe. F3 is the shortcut to change your visual style to wireframe, and you can go for uh, again F3 to get back your uh, default shading, and to default shading to like this one, aged face, so you can choose F4, so that within this default shading all the edges will be highlighted. So that is your aged face, so that is controlled by F4, that is the shortcut. Okay, that you can select also. So let me go with F3 so that you can understood. And that is tetra. Let me choose cube here. Okay, so that is, you can see, let me show you like this way. Okay, so we have this kind of things available for here. This is star. This one is star 2. So this kind of shapes are available. And about the family parameter, so you can change it here. Okay, all right, so these two family parameters are available there. Okay, so these things will help you to get another object another different kind of object. We have this torus knot. You can choose to circle as well. This is like a donut. You can change it. So there you will find out some options like this way. So your segments are applied. We'll get objects like this. Okay. This is the wrap count. So the wrap count, you can see it here. So we'll change it later. Now let me change the cross section radius. So let me decrease. So this one is the cross section radius. This one. Okay, that will increase, decrease, and about the sides. So for that, you will have like smoothness for your cross section. So for each segment, you will have smoothness if you apply this increase in sides within this cross section option. And if you choose increase in segments, so for that you will have this kind of shapes. Okay, in your total geometric shapes, you can increase your segments for better curvature. All right, so we have this option. You can apply this smoothness to the side, to the sides only, and you can make it none so that you will not have any smoothness. So better you apply to all. And we have this twist option. You can apply twist. So let me increase some sides here, and then let me go for twist. And there you can see. So this kind of objects can be created. All right, so go with these primitives. These are very simple for creating, but it is not simple to understand your primitives. You have to understand very well what are these primitives, and through these primitives, how many shapes can be extracted by changing all their parameters. Okay, so that is all, and this is the basic introduction of your 3ds Max. I hope you understand. Thank you all.